us, yeah. So we are coming here with a force, yeah.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. If you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn it from red to gray. I have another horror roommate storytime video for you guys today. So this is part 2. My hand hurts. Let's switch it over. So yeah, so this is part 2. If you have not checked out part 1 yet, if you have not watched part 1 yet, go ahead and find that link in the description box and check it out. It's a really good story. I mentioned somewhere in that video that I have had multiple horror roommate situations, and some subscribers did pick up on it and they requested that I make a part 2 video. So I'm bringing it to you guys right now and I'm excited to share this story. So this story goes back to my sophomore year in college. During my freshman year, I roomed in a dorm with 2 other girls. The 3 of us decided to still room together during our sophomore year. Moving day came and we were super excited. One of the roommates brought in a big, plush, comfy couch, which is very important to this story, and you guys will learn why a little bit later on. When we moved into the apartment, we realized the place looked pretty lived in already, and it reeked. Like, it did not smell the best, and the girl that lived there before, her things were like all over the place. And I started to think, like, you know, I was wondering whether or not the people in the leasing office told her that she was getting new roommates, because I figured, you know, if you knew you were getting new roommates, you kind of move your things, make room for other people, clean up just a little bit. But I didn't let that bother me. It wasn't a big issue. We just moved in and we were super excited. So one of the first things that you do when you're moving into a new place with other people is you try to find certain areas to keep your personal belongings. So we went straight to the kitchen, and I had a lot of pots and pans because I loved to cook. And my other roommates moved in with, like, you know, their plates, cups, silverware, all that stuff. In the apartments on campus, there's like a living room area, and then there's a hallway on this side and a hallway on this side. 2 bedrooms are here and 2 bedrooms are here. The roommates that I had the year before were rooming together on one side. We were randomly placed, so we had no say in, you know, who would live on what side. So those 2 girls lived together on this side, and then I lived on the other side with the girl that lived there before. When it comes to the girl that lived there before, we're going to call her the Great Illusion. So I went to my bathroom and saw that her things strewn all over the floor, hairballs in the corner of the bathroom, like it was just a mess. And so I wrote her a note saying, hey, I want to start fresh, you know, I wanted to go ahead and kind of clean certain areas, put my things away, but I don't want to touch your personal things. So I just want to let you know, just kind of introducing myself, and you know. So the next day when I woke up, I noticed that all of her things were gone. So I went ahead and cleaned the face basin, I cleaned the bathtub, mopped the floors, swept. So I took care of all of that stuff, and I still had yet to have seen the Great Illusion. Okay, so let's fast forward a month later. So a month later, you know, we all settled in, we went about our personal business, we, you know, sports, classes, studying, work, and we still had yet to meet the Great Illusion. She was nowhere to be found. We figured she just didn't want to meet us, and it wasn't so much of a problem. Like, we weren't trying to force a friendship on this girl. We were trying to meet up because, one, we needed to know who we were living with. Like, at least just let us see her face, you know, talk to you, introduce ourselves, get your name. And we needed to meet each other because we had to draft a roommate agreement. Roommate agreements are mandatory by the University Village apartment complex. We had to decide, you know, when we would clean bathrooms, what the temperature should be on at certain hours of the day, you know, personal space, and she needed to have a say. We just couldn't meet up with this girl. Like, she managed to slip in and out of the apartment every single day without us seeing her face. I remember one night, I woke up to use the bathroom. It was about 3 a.m. at this point, and I heard the front door locking. I knew that it was somebody that had left the apartment based on how it sounded, like based on how the person was locking the door. So I dashed over to the window in the living room and I peeked outside, and I saw her for the first time, guys. The very first time. I was shocked. I did not see her face though. I just saw a silhouette of her body, but that was more than anything I had seen up until that point. So months had gone by at this point, and we still had not had that roommate agreement drafted, and this was past the time that it was supposed to have been submitted. We made so many attempts to just introduce ourselves. We tried knocking on her door, you know, slipping her little notes, leaving notes in in the living room area. Like, we had nothing but failed attempts to meet this girl. There were times that we knew for sure that she was there because her music blared all hours of the night. We would hear her on the phone. So I knew the girl was in the apartment. She would also do this thing where she would turn the AC off, put the heater on up to 90 degrees at a time. I have pictures. I will insert a picture right here, right now, so you guys can see the proof of that. This girl would do this all the time. Turn our apartment into a furnace. Imagine trying to sleep in that. It's next to impossible. And this would happen all the time. And then we started to notice that our food was going missing. I would see fork marks in my ackee and sawfish, in my rice and peas, in my oxtails. Like, really? We all knew that none of the three of us, you know, had done that because we lived together the year before and that just wasn't our style. And then we started to see like milky substances in our food. I saw like white powders in my food. Like, something just was not right. My perception of reality was being tampered with at this point, and it's like, not my food. Food, guys, like, come on. So I knew it was time to go speak with someone about this issue. So the two other girls and I went to the leasing office to bring attention to this issue that we were having. And days went by and the people in the leasing office tried to get a hold of her to talk about this issue with her, and they couldn't catch her either. Days had turned into weeks and nothing came of the issue. So now there's a specific story that I want to tell you guys about. So my roommates and I decided to have a movie night. We made a late night, we made a run to Target and got popcorn and chips and candy and drinks and went back to our apartment and somehow managed to fall asleep on the couch. The big, plush, comfy couch. Something nudged me awake that night. Like, I just had this weird feeling like creeping up my spine. So I opened my eyes a little bit and the room was pitch black. The only light that was coming through was from the TV, because we were playing a movie. And when I opened my eyes, I saw the great illusion hovering over me. Like, she was no more than like a 6-inch sub sandwich away from my face. Let that sink in. Standing over me while I was sleeping. So as soon as I saw that, like, I kind of like quickly shut my eyes, and then I started kind of coughing, like tossing and turning, to basically be like, back the hell up, you know what I mean? And it worked. But that was just so creepy. Like, why was she hovering over me, watching me sleep in the dark living room? Like, none of that made sense. It was just weird. Food was going missing. Milky substances were being put in our food. Fork marks in our food. We had yet to have met up. We had yet to have spoken to this girl. We haven't seen her face up until the point where I opened my eyes and saw her hovering over me. She would keep turning the heat up every single day, like 90 degrees at a time. Like, all of this was just ridiculous. So you guys see now why she got the name of the Great Illusion? You get it now? Yeah. So I was just so done playing cat and mouse with this girl. Like, something had to give. But my mom got involved. She emailed the president of the university and CC'd some people a little bit below him. And something finally came of the issue. I think when she took it to that level, they were like, okay, yeah, you know what? The president knows about it now. We have to take care of it. We don't want this to get out of hand. So thankfully, she was removed from our apartment, and it was a breath of fresh air. At first. And the saga continued. So that did not go well either. I'm definitely gonna make that a part 3 because that's a story for another time. But yeah, these were some wild experiences, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Don't forget to check out part 1. The link for that is in the description box down below. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that post notification bell so you guys can be notified about all of my uploads, and I will see you guys in my next video.
So we are coming here with a force, yeah. Blessings we are reaping, we coursing on full. Oh, in a rise and boast.